Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you follow a lot of news about Chanel and their upcoming collections, then you probably come across the information that there is this heart-shaped bag that is coming out for their 22S collection. I'll show a photo of the bag up here if you're not familiar with it, but essentially this bag seems like it is going to be the absolute most popular bag for this collection. It is going to be so hard to get your hands on. I think a lot of reserves and wait lists at boutiques are already closed and have been closed for a while now because everyone has been talking about this bag since the runway show, which was I think in like October of last year or something like that. So yeah, this bag is definitely really popular. I think the heart-shaped bag trend is also kind of like a big thing right now. I will be doing a video about the bag trends for spring 2022, so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on that video. But yeah, this bag has been so talked about ever since the runway show. And when it was first shown on that runway show, I was really turned off by this bag, honestly, because there was so much kind of like negative news about it. People were talking about the horrible stitching on the bags. There was this white one that went down the runway where the chain just completely snapped and it was hanging on by one end of it. It looked so absolutely ridiculous. So I didn't want it. And then I heard the prices for these bags and I was even more repulsed by it because there's two sizes for the bag specifically. I think there's going to be like other things, like there's some type of wristband thing. I think there's like a belt bag, but for the bag itself, like your kind of like traditional bag shape, there's two sizes. The large one is going to be priced in the 5,000 US dollar range, and then the smaller one is going to be in the $3,000 range. So that is really, really expensive. So between the price as well as how the bag looked on the runway, I was not interested in it whatsoever. And fast forward a couple months, which is right now, people are starting to talk about it again, and it got me to thinking, maybe I do actually want this bag. And this bag does come in like so many different colors. Chanel is really going hard with this release. So there's white, black, and then there's pink, blue, purple, and there's even like a gold color too. So yeah, it got me to thinking like, do I actually want this bag? Because I do think heart-shaped bags are quite cute, but ultimately I did decide that, yeah, no, I'm not going to get this bag. I am absolutely going to regret this purchase if I end up buying it. I could just see it right now. Worst purchase of 2022. It will be on such a list if I end up buying it. So I decided to do this video and just share my thoughts with you guys on why I'm not going to be getting this bag. The first reason I've already kind of touched on briefly, and the price is just ridiculous in my opinion. It is priced higher than bags that I believe are like comparable sizes. The smaller one seems like, you know, the same size as your kind of like vanity bags, which I bought one recently and that was priced at $2,625, and that was already really expensive for a vanity bag, and the small size of this heart bag is going to be over $3,000. So that is just really expensive, right? And then the larger one is going to be over $5,000. And when you compare it to the mini rectangular flap, which is a very classic shape, that one currently is 4,400 US dollars. So that's a significant difference. Granted, they might raise that price before the next collection comes out. This is not to say that I have any information about price increases whatsoever though, but even if they do raise the prices, I don't see it going above $5,000 because from the trend of past price increases, it seems like the mini rectangular goes up by like about $400 every single price increase. So that's going to bring it to about $4,800. And yeah, that just makes this heart-shaped bag really, really expensive in my opinion. And then point number two is that I just don't like that flap that they put in the front of the bag. I kind of applaud them for making it a little bit more unique and tying it in with the typical Chanel kind of aesthetic with their flap designs because yes, of course, that is very Chanel. And yeah, it does kind of make it a little bit more unique compared to like 90% of the heart-shaped bags out there, which is just very plain and flat on the front. So yeah, Chanel incorporated their quilting and they incorporated that flap design on the front, but I just don't think that works. Like the flap goes straight across, whereas the bag itself is like a heart shape. So it just clashes in my opinion. And also I don't think that flap is going to be really functional. Like, can you even put anything in there? And when I think about how the kind of like front of this bag is designed compared to the Moschino heart-shaped bag that kind of has the biker jacket look in the front of it, I like that one so much more. I think that actually works with the bag, whereas this kind of flap design, yeah, it just really doesn't work in my opinion. And that kind of leads me into point number 3, which is that I don't know how much usable space there will be in this bag. You know, I already mentioned how I'm not sure you can put anything in that little flap at the front, but even inside the bag, you know, it's a heart shape, so it's a little bit strange. And how much of the space inside can you actually use? Because, you know, for example, if you're putting your phone in there, assuming that your phone even fits in this, it's just going to sit at this like weird slant. And yeah, I feel like everything is just going to start like going towards the bottom of the bag if it's small enough, and then if it's too big, it's just going to be hard to kind of like play Tetris in the bag and make it fit at just the proper angle. And yeah, when I buy a bag, I kind of need it to be somewhat convenient to use, and I don't have the time to be like playing around, fussing around with how to get things in the proper direction and angle to make it all fit. Even just thinking about it is already kind of frustrating me. And then point number 4 is that the zipper on the bag kind of changes the shape of the bag. So this heart shape is not like, for example, on the Louis Vuitton, I don't even know what the bag is called, but they recently came out with like this heart-shaped bag, and I think there was a more recent one, but I think it's the same exact shape as the one from their Game On collection. That one, that kind of top part where the heart comes like inwards a little bit, it's a little bit more defined, but on the Chanel one, it's not quite as defined. I really do not know how to describe this, but because of that, the zipper, when it goes around, it doesn't really follow that heart shape really well. On the photos that I've seen, the zipper kind of just is like a bit of a curve upwards instead, and that also kind of changes the shape of the bag. To me, it almost makes it look like a teardrop shape instead of a heart shape. And between that and how the flap goes straight across, it kind of takes away from the heart-shaped cuteness of this bag. And the next reason is that this bag, I don't think it stands upright, and I absolutely hate when bags don't stand up. At most, I think you can kind of lean it slightly on its side, and worst case scenario, it has to just lay down flat, and that is just kind of like a pet peeve of mine. I've sold a bag of mine in the past because it doesn't stand up, and yeah, it's kind of minor, right? What's so bad about picking it up even if it's laying flat? But it's just something that I'm used to, and it bothers me when it doesn't stand up. And yeah, along the same line, storage is going to be a little bit tricky too. So those are kind of like little nitpicky things that it might not be a complete deal breaker when it's in a handbag, but along with all the other things, it's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. And then there's 2 more reasons. One is that I just do not have the patience to try to get my hands on this bag. I know I already missed the boat to reserve it because people were reserving this bag even once they saw it come out on the runway. And like I mentioned, I did not even want that bag back then. And I just, for my own sanity, I don't want to be chasing a bag like this. You know, it's not special enough for me to put in that much effort to get my hands on it. I know that in the United States, it is easier compared to a lot of other countries to get my hands on even like popular bags. I know I've been able to get a lot of popular bags, even though in other countries it would be really hard to even get those bags. But I have this hunch that this bag in particular is going to be so much harder to get than any of the other ones that I've been able to buy. And yeah, it's just not worth it for me at the end of the day. I don't love it enough to put that much effort in. I don't think there's any bag actually that I'd be willing to put this amount of effort into getting. And the last and final reason, which is probably the most important one honestly, is it's just not my style. I mean, right now it is kind of like a trendy thing, so yeah, maybe I might wear it, but honestly, even when it's trendy, I don't know how much I would use it. Even in like years past, there's always been some variation of these bags from at least contemporary designers. Like I've definitely seen a few of them from Kate Spade, and it's just not something that ever appealed to me. And that doesn't change just because now it's coming from Chanel. I don't have a particularly girly style, which is, it's funny that I'm saying that because this top that I'm wearing is actually really frilly right now, but overall I don't have a very girly type of style. So even though I will buy, you know, like pink color bags and I would really like using it, I think having like a heart-shaped bag just takes it to another level, and I don't know that I would feel absolutely comfortable even when I'm wearing it. So those are all the reasons why I ultimately decided not to get this bag, or why I decided not to even try getting this bag, because as I mentioned, I don't even know if I would be able to get my hands on this, and my gut instinct is that yeah, I would not be able to get this bag. There's so many other people that are trying to get it and have probably spent way more money at Chanel than I have, and unless I go through a reseller or something like that, yeah, I just don't think that I would be prioritized against all the other customers out there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree with any of these points that I mentioned. Maybe you agree with some but not others. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week on luxury and fashion. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next, so I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.